Listeners, konnichiwa. Great to see you and welcome to our very special Tokyo Olympic Games and Travel Show Party. I'm Andy, Head of Global PR here at Wendy Wu Tours, and I'm super excited to be with you today as we take flight to Japan to celebrate this magnificent country and of course the greatest sporting event on the planet. But of course this year we can't travel to the Olympics, but hey, that hasn't stopped us here at Wendy Wu Tours, because as the UK's #1 tour operator to Japan, we're bringing all the buzz and the excitement of the Games direct to you. So coming up today, we'll be finding out what's new in Japan, what are the must-see sites, and why 2022 and 2023 is the perfect time to travel on your dream holiday to Japan. We're packing our cases and flying off for some virtual touring to see the amazing highlights of this outstanding country and the immersive experiences that are just waiting for you in Japan. Again, we'll be going off the beaten track to find out those hidden gems in Japan, plus all the details of some outstanding travel offers. But I hear you say, we want to travel now. Andy, where can Wendy Wu Tours take us to? Well, viewers, pack your bags now because we're taking you to a new destination for Wendy Wu Tours. No quarantine, no testing, and no worries. Completely safe and guaranteed departure for this year, this October. Yes, it's no surprise that this destination is nearly sold out on our first departure. Guaranteed, as I said, for travel this year, we're going north to Scotland on the Spirit of Scotland tour. You'll find out more why Scotland is the hottest destination for travel this October and why travel to Japan in 2022 and 2023 is going to be big. At the end of the show, we'll have our after-show travel party. Here you'll meet our travel experts and, of course, be able to chat with fellow travellers. So please stay with us till the end of the show because you seriously do not want to miss this. So friends, the excitement here at our Olympics and Travel Show Party is just electric. And I'm joined by some very special guests. Brian Hines, Head of Operations at Wendy Wu Tours. And of course, Wendy Wu herself, founder at Wendy Wu Tours. And of course, Mr. John Ward, our very own Global Sales Director and 2012 Olympic torch runner.
Hey!
Woo!
Hello everybody! Hello!
Look at that outfit.
Thank you, Brian. You can borrow it for the weekend.
So guys, the Japan Olympics, it's here. A long time coming, but finally here. Fantastic opening ceremony. Competition so far has just been brilliant. And 4 new sports this year. So guys, what's got you excited from the new sports?
Surfing is brand new this year, and I'm from Australia. It's the national favourite sport, so I'm looking forward to the surfing. How about you, Brad?
For me, it's got to be karate. Wendy, I'm the original kung fu
Oh,
Gosh, I can feel the power!
So karate, can't wait.
For me, I'm excited about skateboarding. Why? Because Team GB have got the youngest athlete. Guess how old she is? She's only 13. Sky Brown, 4th in the world. Go Sky, win Olympic gold for GB. Go for it. We're proud of you.
Wonderful.
And how about you, Andy?
Absolutely. Well, Sky's looking very good, got to say, but for me, it's climbing. Got to be climbing. New this year. You got to watch this one.
Wow, Andy, it's brand new, and also you always drive people off the wall!
Very true, Andy. Very true.
Thank you. Well, I have a tendency for doing that.
Well
Guys,
said, well
Team
said.
GB, record-breaking second place finish in Rio. Looking very strong this year, friends. Who are we watching closely from the team?
For me, I'm watching Katie Snowden. My boys love athletics, and they are training with the same coach as Katie Snowden.
Right.
So therefore, the whole club is so excited, and everybody is watching, and hope
Wow.
she will win. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, for me, Max Whitlock, I can't wait to see. He done very well in 2016 Rio, so I can't wait to see what it's going to be like in Japan.
Listen, there's a story here with Helen Glover in the rowing. She's just amazing, by the way. Quadruple European champion. She won Olympic gold in 2012 and 2016. She went away from the sport. She's 36 years old and had 3 kids, and now she's back rowing for Team GB. So go Go, go, go. Win gold for us. Come on.
Wow, wow. John, that reminds me of you because you have done 20 marathon and the 20 half marathon. Just keep going. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Wendy. Not as good as her, but thank you anyway.
Well, for me, all eyes are on Declan Brooks, BMX freestyling. Great guy, great sport. Definitely want to watch this year.
Wonderful, wonderful. And there's an amazing thing and a unique thing about Tokyo Olympic this year because no one can actually go to Japan, not even the sports people's family. So I'm sure that they will be so much appreciated. All of us are here
Very much.
cheering for them and support them. So everybody, how about let's cheer for Japan?
Let's have a cheer for
Tokyo.
Japan.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Go,
Japan. And I've got to say, guys, Team Japan, they finished 6th in Rio, so again, certainly ones to watch. We think they're going to do well this year?
Yes, I think they will do very well. And the UK team, through the Olympic, prior to host the Olympic, they were middle of nowhere. But then they progressed, and in Rio, they reached number 2 in the world for the medalist. So we think that Japan will do very well.
Yes.
Let's cheer for them again!
Oh, come on, Japan.
Yes.
You know what, Andy?
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to say, in 2012, the Olympic Games lifted our country, lifted Great Britain, without question of a doubt. So we hope they will do well, and we hope that it lifts the country and the people, because they really deserve it. So, gambatte there, go Japan,
Go Japan.
win lots of medals, make us proud, the spirit of Japan, go for it. Yay!
Go for it. Well, friends, fascinating opinion there from our Olympic panel. And remember, you can speak to Wendy, Brian and John in the party, the travel show party, at the end of this show. So please stay with us because you're going to enjoy that party room. Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah!
Yes, we are here today for a travel party, and that means we want to get away now. Well, right now there is only one place that we can travel to with a guaranteed departure this October. Yes, you heard it correctly, we're taking you there this year. Amazing culture, stunning scenery and the best authentic experiences. Yes, viewers, you've got it, it's Scotland. Here to give you a taster of what's coming up in our new Spirit of Scotland, it's over to Peter Crane, Global Product Director at Wendy Wu Tours. Peter.
Hello, my name is Peter Crane. I'm the Product Director here at Wendy Wu Tours, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Scotland section of our Olympics event. Scotland, of course, is famous for all sorts of things in the world, but one of its proudest achievements is the sheer number and the quality of its Olympians. In fact, of the 67 medals won by Great Britain at the last Olympics in Rio, nearly 1/3 were won by Scots. Sir Chris Hoy, here on the left, is the greatest British Olympian of all time with his 6 gold medals. And Sir Andy Murray and Dame Catherine Granger are also, of course, Scottish national legends. But let's get back to their homeland, to Scotland. So why are Wendy Wu Tours going to Scotland? Well, we and anyone who loves the adventure of travel have been so frustrated for the last 18 months. We decided it was time to bring the Wendy Wu Tour style of fully inclusive, fully immersive, escorted touring to the UK and have created what we think is the best, most comprehensive and the most carefully researched tour to Scotland available. I'll come to the details later, but let's start with Scotland itself. What a place. Whether you choose to travel there in spring, when the wildflowers are at their best and the trees are in full bloom, or in the summer when the weather's dry and warm and the legendary landscapes of mountains, lochs islands and coastline is at its very best, or in the autumn, which for many is the very best time to be in Scotland, when the hillsides turn red and orange and there's often a light mist sitting on the lochs in the morning. Whatever time of year you visit, the essential ingredients are still the same. Scotland's proud and iconic cultural traditions, the kilt, the bagpipes, of course, the ceilidh, the food, including porridge and haggis, and the whisky, which for me somehow tastes all the better when it's drunk in Scotland, and we'll have plenty of opportunities on this tour to do some whisky tastings. The cities of Scotland are all unique and so different from each other, and so many of them are packed full of culture and history. But for most visitors to Scotland, it's the vast and dramatically beautiful reaches of the Highlands they remember the most, where every turn of the road opens up another view of green mountains and valleys, lochs and rivers, delightful little villages, and of course the famous coastline and the islands of the west. So our new tour, launched just over 2 weeks ago and already proving very popular, is an 11-day tour starting in Edinburgh and finishing in Glasgow. Every single day on this trip is packed full of highlights, as we'll see. Some of them the big iconic must-see sites of Scotland, but many of them are the little-known and off-the-beaten-track gems that we've found out to serve to you on this tour. The tour is escorted by our very own expert Blue Badge guide, whose knowledge of Scotland we think is second to none. And just like all of our tours in Asia, this tour is fully inclusive of all meals, all sightseeing, and all activities from the start to the end. We've given the tour a physical rating of 1, meaning anybody capable of walking short distances, being on their feet for an hour or two at a stretch, and climbing onto and off trains, boats, coaches, unassisted, will be fine on this trip. The tour starts in Edinburgh, one of Europe's most iconic capital cities, with heritage and history at every turn. We enjoy a full-day walking tour of the city, including the dramatic castle, which dominates the city skyline. We also stroll along the Royal Mile, which stretches exactly 1 mile from the Palace of Holyrood House to Edinburgh Castle. This is the traditional processional route followed by kings and queens of Scotland for over 500 years. But Edinburgh isn't only about the grand ceremonial places. We also visit some lesser known sites like this, a cafe frequented by some of the city's most famous writers, such as J.K. Rowling, Ian Rankin, and Alexander McCall Smith. We also travel to nearby Leith to visit the Royal Yacht Britannia, formerly the floating residence of Queen Elizabeth II, an extraordinary insight into one of the Queen's best-loved places. And nearby is this amazing creation, the Falkirk Wheel Canal Boat Lift, one of the many extraordinary engineering feats for which Scotland is famous. This wheel allows boats to connect between the Forth and Clyde Canal and the Union Canal, 35 metres above it. Later we move on to Stirling and visit this place, Stirling Castle, perhaps the most important castle in the whole of Scotland, with its stunning views of the surrounding countryside, including the sites of the Battle of Bannockburn and the Battle of Stirling Bridge. From Inverness, we visit the battlefield of Culloden, and also we take a cruise across Loch Ness, the famous home to Scotland's shyest monster, and enjoy the incredible views of the loch, including, of course, the romantic ruins of Urquhart Castle pictured here on its promontory overlooking the loch. From Inverness, we make what I think is one of the most spectacular road journeys in all of Scotland, southwest through the Great Glen, passing the scenic Five Sisters of Kintail and the fabulous Eilean Castle, pictured here, wonderfully located on the edge of the loch to reach the Isle of Skye. On Skye, the largest and arguably the most beautiful island of the Inner Hebrides, we drive through the scenic Keelan Mountains and visit the Fairy Pools, where a string of waterfalls form these lovely clear water pools. Also on Skye, we visit Portree, known for its painted houses and the picturesque views across the bay. And for a chance to go under the surface of the island and its heritage, we drive to Talisker to meet and spend some time with this man, Mitch, He's one of Scotland's best-known gillies, or wilderness guides, and Mitch will regale you with stories about Skye and about his life as a traditional gillie in the Scottish Highlands. Now next comes one of the highlights of this tour. It's a chance to travel by steam train on one of the most scenic rail routes in the world, from Fort William in the shadow of Ben Nevis to Mallaig on the west coast. This 84-mile route takes in the most dramatic mountains, moorlands, the rushing streams, and some of Scotland's most beautiful lochs, as well as the fabulous 21-arch Glenfinnan Viaduct, as featured, of course, in the Harry Potter movies. At the viaduct, which was built in 1901 and incidentally cost only £18,904 to build, the train actually stops for a few minutes to allow passengers to take photographs. Next, we continue south and take a ferry across to the Isle of Mull. Mull is less mountainous than Skye, but no less beautiful, with its lovely coastal bays and villages, such as Tobermory pictured here. And we also visit Tobermory's famous distillery, which for more than 200 years has been producing its distinctive peaty whiskies. And we'll have the chance to taste a few drams here, as you'd expect, and then travel back to Oban on the mainland. Now, with its lovely harbour and its outlook, Oban is a classic and slightly understated coastal town, but rich in history, as we discovered during our stay, especially World War II history, with the role it played in the Battle of the Atlantic. From Oban, we also enjoy a cruise on Loch Lomond, a chance to take in the stunning mountain views of Ben Lomond and beyond. And then the tour ends in Glasgow, an incredible industrial city, famous for its very lively and vibrant atmosphere, once known as the second city of the British Empire. Our focus in Glasgow is on one of the city's greatest sons, the architect and designer Charles Rennie Mackintosh, who lived at the turn of the 20th century and whose groundbreaking buildings are spread through Glasgow City and the surrounding areas. So just to remind you, this tour is 11 days long, and as you've heard, each one of those days is packed with highlights. Our departure on the 11th of October is now almost fully sold, but I know a second departure for Scotland's autumn colours in October is being planned and will be launching soon. So if you'd like to join us on that tour, do pick up the phone and book as soon as you can. Thank you and goodbye.
So viewers, yes, that was Scotland looking incredible and great for travel in 2021. But what about 22 and 2023? Well, that is, of course, Japan. Japan is going to be big in 2022. For example, cherry blossom, we've missed it for 2 years. Lots of demand. It's going to be bigger and better than ever before. So viewers, where do you start if it's your first tour of Japan? Or maybe you've been to Japan but feel you didn't quite see it properly. Well, here to show us the best of Japan and truly amazing experience, it's over to John Moore. John.
Hokkaido Woo. You see what I did there? Hokkaido New, Hokkaido Woo. Anyway, forget that. Listen, I really hope you enjoyed hearing about our Spirit of Scotland tour from Peter. Isn't it absolutely wonderful? But I'm here to talk a little bit about Japan. But before I do that, we are not quite halfway through the Olympic Games at the moment, but I really hope that you are enjoying the Games as much as I am. I absolutely love the Olympic Games, and I can't wait for them for us to continue to win medals for GB. By the way, you would have had a chance to look at the Olympic torch. The Olympic torch was designed by a gentleman called Tokujin Yoshioka. Tokujin Yoshioka, and you might have noticed that the design resembles the cherry blossom flower, and he designed this with this in mind to show how important the cherry blossom is in Japan culture, the sakura as well. And by the way, the torch was built out of aluminium that was used in the housing during temporary housing used following the tsunami in 2011. So, what he wanted to portray is warmth and love to the people of the world. So there you go, a little bit of fact. But have a look, when you look at the Olympic Games torch, have a look again, a close look at the shape and the design of the Olympic torch. So, listen, why do 32 million people visit Japan every single year? 32 million tourists in 2019 visited Japan, and that number is going to grow even more in 2022, 2023, and going forward as well. So there's so much to see. You know, people always talk about the cherry blossom, which you can see in March and April. It's a phenomenal sight, a really beautiful sight. On top of that, autumn is also a really great time to go to Japan, by the way, to see the beautiful fall. You know, it's almost like New England in the fall, the wonderful red colors, really stunning time to go as well. You've got ancient Kyoto, one of my favorite cities, so much to see and do in Kyoto. You've got Mount Fuji, 3,776 meters of Mount Fuji, such a stunning, iconic site in Japan. You've got all the Shinto shrines, you've got the Buddhist temples, and Buddhism is key to the spirituality of the Japanese people. The bamboo forest in Japan, for example, in Kyoto. The nature, you know, really beautiful nature. Japan is 75% mountainous. That's why the cities are so heavily populated in Tokyo, for example, and in places like Osaka. And you'll be able to see the snow monkeys and the deer in Nara. You've got Hiroshima with all its history and meaning. You can experience an onsen. You've got the samurai castles that you'll see, tea ceremonies, you know, traditional Japanese culture, and of course you've got the amazing food. Now, the good news I've got for you is everything I've just talked about, you can see on one of our most popular tours called Japan Uncovered, which is a 17-day tour. The exciting thing about this is we are actually going to let you travel to Japan for free. Yes, no need to adjust your sound, you heard me right, for free. So for a short period only, we're going to let you travel on our tours for free. And if you're traveling alone or you're solo, we're not going to charge you the solo supplement, which is worth up to £1,900. So there you go. We want you to experience Japan. We love it. We fall in love with it. Every one of us at Wendy Wu Tours that have been there are in love with Japan. We want you to have the same experience as well. So the tour, as I say, is 17 days. Irrespective of where you fly from, you get picked up at the airport, you get taken to your hotel. Now you can arrive a couple of days earlier if you want to, some people choose to. But the tour will start on a particular day, and then the guide stays with you for the whole duration. Oddly enough, not many people speak English in Japan, so you will need somebody with you so that you get the most out of the tour. So on our Japan Uncovered tours, as is common on most of our classical tours, breakfast, lunch and dinner is included. Your touring is included, any domestic travel, and you will travel by bullet train as well. What a wonderful experience that's going to be throughout Japan. So all that is included, all your guiding, as I say, all your food, everything is included. Your international flights, actually we're going to cover those as I said earlier. So there you go. So you pay one price and one price only, and that's a really wonderful way of having peace of mind that you're being well looked after, as you will do on a Wendy Wu tour. So there you go. So let's talk a little bit about some of the places you go to. You fly into Osaka, and then of course you're going to head into Himeji. You're going to go to Nara. You're going to go to Hiroshima. And one of my favorite parts, as I say, is Kyoto. So much to see and do. The tea ceremony, for example, in Kyoto is an important ritual which is involved in the preparation of matcha tea. And again, you know, Zen Buddhism is really primarily responsible for introducing the tea ceremony. A Buddhist monk brought if you like, the tradition across from China. So really important. You'll be able to experience that and the meaning of that as well. You know, you're going to see 17th century castles, like Himeji Castle, for example, built in 1333. A World Heritage Site. And if you were around, by the way, in 1871, you could have bought that castle for 23 yen. But anyway, that wouldn't have been any good, because that means you wouldn't be around now to enjoy it. So we're going to give you an amazing experience. We talk about the food. I can guarantee you that wherever you go, whichever prefecture you go to in Japan, you will be able to experience local food, local culture. So, for example, you will have okonomiyaki in Osaka. And okonomiyaki is made out of cabbage in Osaka. If you go to Hiroshima, you'll also have okonomiyaki, but that's made out of noodles. You go up to Takayama, for example, again, the Japanese Alps, really stunning scenery, very different from the southeast. So really, really wonderful, wonderful experience. You're going to have, you know, the Hebei food as well, the meat, really stunning, stunning, good value food as well. So we'll look after you. And if you're a vegetarian, don't worry, just let us know and we'll accommodate your food needs as well. So a huge amount of things to do. It will be an amazing experience. I know that it will be one that you'll come home and tell your friends about. I'm not a great photographer, you know, I'm not a professional photographer, but even with my simple camera, with my iPhone, I've taken some amazing pictures. You know, when you look at the Golden Pavilion, for example, in Kyoto, some stunning pictures just by pointing and shooting with the right, you know, with the right light on it. So you have an amazing experience. Come and explore Japan with us. We are the biggest fully escorted tour operator to Japan. We know what we're doing. We're the biggest fully escorted tour operator from China, so from Australia rather, from the UK as well, and from New Zealand. So we carry more passengers than anyone else. That's why we do Japan like no one else. If you have any more questions, I'm going to be in the party room at the end, so come in, come and say hello, ask whatever questions you like. We'll have our experts waiting to speak to you, and I really look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you.
Now, there is so much more to see in Japan once you venture off the beaten track. Here to take us on a breathtaking and culturally immersive journey through Japan, it's over to Joe Lavers, Business Development Manager at Wendy Wu Tours. Joe.
Hi, my name's Joe Lavers and I'm the Senior Business Development Manager for Wendy Wu Tours. And I'm going to tell you about our Offbeat Japan tour, which is one of our Go Beyond tours. But before that, I'm just going to give you a little tip on the Olympics. I'm really into my boxing. Now, Japan has only won 2 gold medals. One in 1964 when they last held the Olympics, and the other in London 2012 with Murata, who won the middleweight title. But my tip for GB is Pat McCormack, so you can have that one on me. Anyway, back to the tour. These tours are really different to our classic tours. Much more flexible, a bit more active, and they're also characterised by really engaging cultural experiences. Lots of active adventures and getting off the beaten track. So we aim to include as much variety as we possibly can, with no 2 days being the same. And you'll gain a real deep understanding of the destination and experience more while still getting to see all the major sites. And it's also in a much smaller group than our classic tours, with a maximum size of 18. All your breakfasts are included, some evening meals, so you've got a bit more free time as well. So this tour starts in Tokyo, and you then travel up into the Japanese Alps, through rural Japan to finish up in Osaka. And on this tour, you'll still get to see and experience the classic highlights of Japan. So the speedy bullet train, Mount Fuji, the snow monkeys, a tea ceremony, and if you travel in May or September, sumo wrestling. Tokyo and Kyoto as well, of course, but you'll also have some very unique experiences. So let me give you some of the highlights of this tour. So first of all, Mount Fuji. As I said, this is a more active tour, and it's a soft adventure really. So as long as you're comfortable with walking, at most 2 to 3 hours, then you'll be fine. But what we do is we actually hike the base camp of Mount Fuji. So we visit Fuji 5 Lakes, and then you'll get to take in a scenic 3-hour easy walk around the base of this 3,776 metre high iconic mountain. And some of the other experiences you can have on this tour. So maybe have a go at taiko drumming. So using these large drums, taiko is an ancient Japanese form of percussion, which has become a popular musical art form involving tightly choreographed movements. You'll learn the art of the traditional taiko drumming, learn to beat the wadiko with the bachi, and you'll produce sounds over 130 decibels. And to play these drums, You've got to smile all the time, that's compulsory. Keep your head up, stand in a very strong position and make definite movements. And keep going no matter what happens. And you should also shout at the start and during the performance as well, but really get involved in it and have a great time. Great way to release stress. And also in Tokyo, we'll take you to the Wacky Robot Restaurant, a futuristic neon lights robot performance. And this show is amazing. It combines robots, dragons, ninjas, blue haired dancers, drums, a whole lot of neon lights and really loud music. And it's the most bizarre show you'll ever see. And then there's some more gentle experiences as well, such as exploring the craft of kimono creation and also learning the art of paper folding, known as origami. But my top highlight of this tour is your visit to Koyasan. Now this is one of Japan's holiest, most spiritual sites. And for your overnight stay, you'll be in a 13th century temple in a traditional tatami room. Now the temple itself is staffed by Buddhist monks who generally don't speak English, and your accommodation is very, very traditional with the mattresses on the floor, but you'll still get a great comfortable night's sleep, I can assure you. The doors to the rooms are made from rice paper, so noise will travel a little bit, and although all the rooms are individually heated, the hallways are not, but there are shared bathrooms and shower and toilet facilities. And this is a really traditional experience. Your evening meal is a Buddhist vegetarian dinner known as shoijin ryoji. Now, a shoijin meal often consists of soup and 3 dishes. And going back to its Zen form, it forms a really important part of a monk's overall training for those who practice this type of food preparation. Some of the recipes, although light and beautiful in appearance, require quite a bit of physical strength actually and stamina to produce. So for example, making sesame seed paste. It's a very common ingredient in Japanese cooking, and it involves many hours of grinding using a traditional pestle and mortar. And then after this fabulous meal in the evening, talking with the other people in your group, then the following day delve into the deep-rooted culture, and you can join the monks in morning prayer, which is a magical experience of peace and serenity and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, talking about food, Japanese cuisine is really delicious. It's colourful, it's healthy, and your guide will be able to help you with recommendations when meals are not included for restaurants. But one of the must-haves, in my opinion, is Hida beef in Takayama, situated in the Japanese Alps, which you will visit on this tour. Now, Takayama itself is a pretty little town nestled in the mountains with a river running right through it. And Hida beef is actually a variety of Wagyu beef, which you've probably heard of. And Hida beef cattle are a breed of Japanese black cattle that have been raised where Takayama is located for at least 14 months. And what sets Hida beef apart from other beef is its muscle and moulding. Some say it comes from the fresh, clean air and the pristine waters of the Gifu region, but whatever the reason, it results in beautifully tender meat. And there's plenty of restaurants in Takayama where you can enjoy this, and where you can also stay in a traditional ryokan. And we do that, and we have a fantastic traditional onsen hot spring bath for you to enjoy as well. So, if you really want to get under the skin of Japan, have some very unique experiences, and a bit more time for self-exploration, then this is the tour for you. Oh, and one final tip, as you finish this tour in Osaka, we can add on our 3-day extension to Hiroshima, which, if it interests you, I would highly recommend. We do also have our full guarantees that we put in place for you. So it's just a £99 deposit. If you need to cancel or change your holiday, we can do that for you at no cost. So we really have put in some fantastic COVID protocols as well. But for me, this is the best trip that you could do to get off the beaten track in Japan.
So, You might have heard me talk about our wonderful Wendy Wu offers that we've got for you throughout the Olympic period. So let me just reiterate what they are. So we will fly you for free to Japan. That's an offer worth up to £800. If you're a solo traveller, we will waiver the single supplement, which is up to £1,940. And we're going to do that throughout the course whilst the Olympic Games are on. So don't delay. Japan has been booking for the last year and a half. Bearing in mind there are people that wanted to go in March 2020 and couldn't throughout last year and throughout this year. So all those people are now booked to go in 2022. So don't delay. We have good availability because we are the biggest fully escorted tour operator, and don't delay. Okay, take advantage of those offers. They're only valid until the 9th of August. The 9th of August. So enjoy the offers, enjoy Japan.
So viewers, it has been a real privilege to be with you today, and we hope you enjoyed your travels around Japan and of course Scotland just as much as we did. Wonderful to be connected, to see you again and to share with you all the exciting news about Japan and Scotland. Plus of course those amazing experiences and those fantastic party offers. Free flights and free single supplements. All valid for travel in 2022 and 2023. But remember, these offers are time limited, so please don't delay. So now, yes, we're coming to the best part, the party room, where you're going to meet our expert team to find out more about Japan, the offers, and of course, that ultimate getaway for 2021, Scotland. Plus it's a party, and so a great opportunity to mingle and meet like-minded friends just like you who simply love travelling. So now you'll see the party room link on your screen. Just click that link and you're in. And please, because we want to see you at the party, please do remember to switch on your video. Bottom video symbol at the bottom of your screen. Just hit it now and you'll be on. And do remember also to hit the mute button. And when you want to ask a question, just unmute yourself. Remember, at any time you can ask a question using the chat facility. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this special travel show party today. Now the best part, ready to talk travel? Yep, let's head over to the party room. We'll see you there.